aerobic exercise, part holistic therapy. Let's get metaphysical with Synergy, an exercise regimen that stretches muscles while expanding the mind. Synergy is what happens when two things work together more effectively than they do apart. In our first story, Judy Moore-Latta introduces us to some folks who exercise the concept of joint action to keep mind and body working together. Judy?
Thank you, Jamie. Exercising is one thing, but what goes on at 4321 Wisconsin Avenue is something else. Some might call it a place for movers and shakers in a different sense. But beyond the flailing arms and flying legs is a search which lies much deeper than the surface. It's one woman's personal attempt to bring a bit of her past into sync with a mental, spiritual, and physical present. That sounds like a mouthful, but it's what we actually found when we first visited Charmaine Shore's studio 6 months ago. Here is a woman pushing the limits of aerobic exercise, intent on doing some soul stretching.
So this is a very eclectic form of movement and dance, but it's mainly for healing. And it leads into a deeper search, a finer tuning in to what we need inside and outside so we can live a more balanced, productive, happy, joyful life. Right, but it's about getting rid of rigidity, submission, the caretaker of the earth, planting seeds.
Charmaine Shore calls the dance synergy, which by definition means the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. This holistic dance movement therapy combines everything from jazz to Tai Chi and yoga, stretching the limits of aerobic exercise to a workout of body and soul.
We start progressively working through the body, but when we use energy principles, they also connect to what we call the 5 elements. Each of these elements has a specific part of the body they work with on the mental, emotional, and physical. And this is the main concept of the class, that it's a balance, knowing what the mental focus is, what is the emotional reaction, and where's the physical action. They have to work in a triune of balance.
Of Synergy is the result of Charmaine's effort to work through the personal events of her life. She is South African by birth. There she witnessed the kidnap and return of her son and was forced to flee due to political differences. As a classically trained dancer, Charmaine found therapy in movement.
The thing is, I've always had dance, and when I was a refugee, all the familiar circumstances are gone. I had no friends, no country, no relative, just my son. So I had to really concentrate on an inner strength and what it takes to be centered and balanced. And obviously I lost my balance. So what dance has always given me is an expression and an internal process.
After a while, you just get burned out.
For Charmaine, the process of synergy is more than a personal quest. It's a holistic approach. Her center offers lectures and classes ranging from Tai Chi to the benefits of massage. And for these kids, there's more to dance than tap and ballet.
I am silly and relaxed.
Through creative movement and an open mind, the results can be surprising.
Let's pretend that we're in the sandbox.
It helps math. It helps if you have study skills, any dyslexia. So the benefit of that for children is phenomenal, but it's also very expressive. And children don't have a problem normally with that. But it's a balance with them as well. And when you are in balance, for instance, if you stand on one leg, you'll be very centered. Nothing will move. You'll feel very secure. If you're always thinking and running around and your mind's jumping from here to there, you won't be able to balance physically. Right? You'll be wobbling all over. Emotionally, if your emotions are just running out and you're just reacting to your emotions, there's an imbalance there. And there again, you won't be able to stand very calmly.
Very relaxed. All right, let it open now and let it feel very receptive. Now let the hips rock the body, then the upper body follows. Where's that feeling, huh?
This is post-aerobics. I couldn't bear aerobics, too, because it was like, tighter thighs by Christmas, and pounding, annoying music into your head. What I often find at Synergy is at the very end, it was like, complete relaxation. And the music you're left with through the day, it sort of floats you off into the day rather than, annoying pop 40 tunes.
Music is important here. The techniques are based on a variety of scientific principles and ethnic dances, balancing energy and emotion. Each class begins and ends on the floor with solitary stretching and meditation. But what happens in between, well, let's just say it's an experience.
The second part of the class is where the fun begins, because then we play around with archetypes. Telling something in a story form is an easy way to learn. We will take the earth element and we will represent the caretaker or planting seeds. Then next is going to be the warrior, which is the fire. Navel, thighs, hidden eyes. This is about protecting boundaries, but we have music from Nelson Mandela, so really protect him. Then we have what's called the magic side, the magician. It's the time we can all show off in class. It's a time where it's chaotic and it's quite magical. We just allow things. And sometimes the demons come up, our shadow side of us. Anger might come out. We just let that come through and everybody's very supportive. And I'm not saying put your right leg there, put your left leg there. It's not a technique. The movement has to start coming from you. The class is a process. Every time you do the class, it's like going through a life experience. You will begin to understand through the movement. It's a learning process of how you can help yourself.